Hello and welcome. Today, you will learn English through another motivational story. Sometimes, we prepare with all our hearts, only to discover that the answer is still not yet. But perhaps a closed door is not the end of the journey. Perhaps it is simply pointing us toward another one. Let's begin. The educational seminar was only a few days away. Sarah had thought about it every evening since receiving the invitation. She had read the schedule several times. She had even written a few questions in her notebook, hoping that, if she found enough courage, she might ask one of the guest speakers. Still, a familiar thought kept returning. Do I really belong there? On Friday morning, she carried the registration form in the front pocket of her backpack. She checked 3 times to make sure it was still there. "I think today's the last day," Aiko said, as they walked to class. Sarah nodded. "It is. Are you going to hand it in?" "I hope so." "You hope so?" Aiko laughed. "Sarah, it's a form, not a dragon." Sarah couldn't help but laugh. "I know, but it feels important." After lunch, Sarah stood outside the school office. The registration box was only a few steps away. Students walked in, dropped off their forms, and walked out again. It took them less than 10 seconds. Sarah stood there for almost 5 minutes. Her heart beat a little faster with every passing moment. What if I ask a silly question at the seminar? What if everyone else is smarter? What if I don't belong? She closed her eyes for a moment. Then she remembered something written in her notebook. "Fear is what I'm leaving behind." She took one slow breath, walked forward, and placed the envelope into the registration box. A small smile appeared on her face. She had done it. That evening, she told her mother the good news. "I finally handed it in." Her mother smiled proudly. "I knew you would." Sarah smiled too. For the rest of the weekend, she found herself looking forward to the seminar. On Monday morning, she arrived at school with a quiet sense of excitement. As she walked toward the notice board outside the office, she saw a crowd of students gathered around a printed list. She waited patiently until there was room to step closer. The paper read, "Educational Seminar. Confirmed participants." Sarah slowly scanned the names. Once, then again, then a third time. She couldn't find hers. Her smile faded. She checked the list one more time. Nothing. A teacher standing nearby noticed her expression. "Oh, Sarah." She looked up. "I'm sorry. The seminar reached its maximum number of participants. We received more applications than expected." Sarah stood quietly. "I understand. The students who weren't selected have been placed on a waiting list." Sarah thanked the teacher politely. Then she walked away. She wasn't angry. She wasn't embarrassed. She simply felt disappointed. During English class, she found it difficult to concentrate. The words on the page seemed to blur together. After school, she didn't go straight home. Instead, she walked to the small park near her apartment. The same park she had once described during the conversation club. She sat on her favorite bench. The autumn leaves drifted gently through the air. Children laughed in the distance. The world carried on as usual. But Sarah sat quietly, staring at the ground. After a while, she reached into her backpack and pulled out her notebook. She opened to a blank page. For several minutes, she couldn't think of anything to write. Finally, she wrote only one sentence. Sometimes doing your best doesn't guarantee the result you wanted. She looked at the words. Then, beneath them, she slowly added another. But it still matters that I tried. Just then, she heard footsteps approaching. It was Aiko. I thought I might find you here. Sarah smiled faintly. I wasn't chosen. I know. Aiko sat beside her. For a few moments, neither of them spoke. Then, Aiko quietly said, "Can I tell you something?" Sarah nodded. I wasn't chosen either. Sarah turned to look at her. You weren't? Aiko smiled. No, I guess we'll both have to wait. Sarah laughed softly. So, we are on the waiting list together. We are. For the first time that afternoon, the disappointment didn't feel quite so heavy. As the sun began to set, the two friends walked home together. They didn't talk much. They didn't need to. Sometimes, the greatest comfort is simply knowing you are not walking alone. That evening, Sarah opened her notebook one last time. At the bottom of the page, she wrote, "A closed door is not proof that I don't belong. Sometimes, it's simply an invitation to keep walking." She closed the notebook. This time, not with disappointment, but with patience.